Hello, teachers. My name is Connie. I am an instructional specialist from the great state of Texas and the beautiful city of El Paso. Welcome to my professional development series on effective questioning for greater learning. Today, we'll learn a very simple technique for randomly questioning your students. It's a great tool you can use with any lesson to progress monitor and check for understanding. So, for today's presentation, we'll call this effective questioning technique the rotation strategy. To demonstrate, let's visit Mrs. Smith and observe her as she expertly uses the rotation strategy in her 4th grade classroom. Observe how Mrs. Smith gives clear instructions to her students prior to using this strategy.
Students, here are your instructions. When I say go, you'll have 1 minute to report to your assigned teams. Then number off 1 through 4. Next, I will ask a discussion question. All members must contribute at least 2 sentences to the conversation. Once everyone has spoken, summarize and prepare a team response. Finally, students, I will randomly call out either 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you hear your number, stand up and get ready to share your team answer. Now, students, you have 1 minute to get into your teams. Okay, make sure you've numbered off 1 through 4. Here is your question. Please explain how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Discuss what you need to do first, second, and so on. Remember, everyone is expected to contribute at least 2 sentences to the conversation. You have 2 minutes to come up with a team answer.
Mrs. Smith manages the strategy by monitoring her students as they participate within their teams. She is also sure to time the discussions so that students are focused and remain on task.
Listen up, everyone. You have 30 seconds left. Summarize your discussions and get ready to report. Time's up. Your attention, please. Remember, I am randomly going to choose from numbers 1 through 4. When you hear your number, please stand up. Let's see. All number 3s, stand up. Thank you, Carl, and thank you, Vanessa. Vanessa, let's start with you. Tell us the first 2 steps your team would take to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
First, we said you need 2 slices of bread. I prefer whole wheat myself. Next, we would spread peanut butter on 1 slice of bread.
Excellent start, Vanessa. It's clear your team worked well together.
Now that Vanessa has given the first part of her team's response, Mrs. Smith rotates to a different student and poses the second part of the same question.
Now let's rotate to you, Carl. I want to hear what your team has to say. What would be the next 2 steps to take when making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
We decided that you would need to spread jelly on the other piece of bread. Grape jelly is the best. The last thing we would do is put the 2 pieces of bread together and then eat the sandwich.
Thank you for that, Carl. You and your team did great work as well. You and Vanessa may sit down now.
Now that both teams have presented and Mrs. Smith has a complete response, she has the option of moving on to the next phase of her lesson or rotating to new students. To check for understanding and to hold students accountable for participation, she chooses to extend the questioning.
I randomly select the number 2s to stand up. Nicholas and Gilbert, thank you. Nicholas, please share with us the 2 sentences you contributed to your team's conversation.
Well, miss, I said the peanut butter should be crunchy, and that we should spread the jelly first.
Wonderful insight, Nicholas. Thank you for that. Now let's rotate to you, Gilbert. What 2 sentences did you have to offer?
I said we needed to cut the crust off the bread, and also we needed to pour milk to have with the sandwich.
Gilbert, that is very interesting. Your contributions were very strong. You and Nicholas may sit down. Great job, everyone. I appreciate how hard you worked. If you didn't present today, expect to be called on the next time we do the rotation strategy.
So, as you can see, Mrs. Smith was able to enhance her practice of questioning and increase student on-task behavior with her skillful use of the rotation strategy. Nice job, Mrs. Smith. You deserve to celebrate. Let's take a few moments to review what we've learned today. First, the rotation strategy is a great way to randomly question and involve more students, not just those who like to speak aloud. Students are held accountable for what they discuss and are not able to opt out of participating within their teams or whole group. Because students know there is a likelihood that they will have to speak, the rotation strategy increases on-task behavior. More students become engaged in the content. Students will improve their listening, speaking, and summarizing skills with consistent use of the rotation strategy. Because the teacher will hear from all students, not only a few, she will get a better sense overall if the class understands a lesson and what, if anything, needs to be retaught. This concludes our professional development for today. We hope you enjoyed it and find it as beneficial as Mrs. Smith.